This is the story of how I went from breaking my hip to getting my second cat upgrade in just 6 months. Coming into 2023, one of my goals was to get my second cat upgrade, but that plan hit a significant speed bump when I was taken out in my second race of the season, crashing heavily and breaking my hip. My form coming into the season was the best it had ever been, so not going to lie, I was pretty devastated for it all to be undone so early on. Luckily for me, the fracture wasn't weight bearing and I was back on the bike relatively quickly. I returned to racing in May, but the form I had before the crash wasn't quite there, so I decided to focus on helping my teammates get results instead. I don't know if it's the same for everyone else, but when I'm working for others and I feel like someone else is relying on me to do a job, I can always dig a little bit deeper than if I was going for my own result. While helping Ewan get his second cat upgrade, I inadvertently started racking up a number of points myself, finishing in the top 10 after leading him out at a number of races. By now, the confidence in my own abilities was on the up again, and I started focusing on hunting for points. This led me to racing in a completely different way. Instead of digging deep and making sure I maximise the chances of someone else, it was all about conserving energy, making smart decisions and being there at the end of races. Coming into my last road racing weekend of the year, I needed just 4 points to get my upgrade, so I needed to finish 6th or better, and this is how that race went. So this is not exactly the way I thought I was going to be starting today's video. So yeah, I'm on the way to the Brownie track for a couple of races today. Hoping to get my Cat 2 upgrade in the first race. I just need 4 points. I'm 4 points away. And yeah, I was riding over and just coming through some traffic lights, trying to shift gear, dropped the chain and it got caught. So yeah, bit of disaster there. So I dropped my chain and it got caught between the kind of chain set and the frame, and when I was trying to pull it back out again, I ended up bending the actual chain, so ended up having to walk to the track. Rang my wife Jess, and she came running over with my other bike, and she got there literally with only about 5 minutes to go before the race, so I didn't manage to get a warm up or anything, but yeah, the adrenaline was pumping a little bit, and that really kind of spurred me on. I was coming into this race off the back of a couple of podiums, so my confidence of finishing in the top 5 or 6 was sky high. The plan was basically a copy and paste of the last few races, stay towards the front of the bunch and conserve as much energy as possible. I wanted to limit the amount of big efforts I had to make, so I was just focusing on maintaining momentum and holding a position towards the front of the race. I did have to make a couple of big efforts when it started to splinter up front and a dangerous move started to get away. With 3 off the front and nobody chasing, I put in a big dig to close the gap. Luckily a couple of people helped, and then my teammate Grimmy jumped to bridge across, which meant I could sit back and recover. For the next 20 minutes or so, there were a number of attacks and moves off the front, but as a team we always managed to have someone represented in the break. This was great because it forced others to waste energy chasing things down, though nothing really looked like it was going to stick. So in the end, I finished third and secured more than enough points to get my second cap upgrade, though that final lap was far from my best work. For starters, coming into the final lap, I was far too relaxed and sitting way too deep in the pack. Coming round the hairpin, I was in 8th or 9th wheel, and usually I'd want to be in that top 5. Coming down the hill, I went a bit wide, letting Grimmy through to lead me out, and managed to lose his wheel. Coming onto the back straight, I've called to Grimmy to take the inside, however the bunch moves to the right, boxing him in. But I'm coming with so much speed, so instead of braking, I take an almighty risk to go for a gap down the inside that really isn't there, and having to go onto the grass. My cross skills paid dividends and managed to round the bunch and be the first into the velodrome. Now this isn't ideal as I'm giving a free lead out to everyone else, but there was no way I was going to lose 6 places in the final sprint. So my advice to anyone trying to make the upgrade in 2024 is to race as much as possible and slowly chip away at the points. And also find a team of like-minded people to race with that you can rely on and work together to get results. I certainly wouldn't have made it to Cat 2 without the help of the Alba Rosa riders.